Hey guys, how's it going? Another day, another drop for Anno 117 with some new information and some new teasers that we've been given from the IGN Fan Fest 2025. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this overview trailer and then we're going to break it down and let's talk about it. So without further ado, here is the Anno 117 Pax Romana official overview trailer.
Hello, I'm Manuel Reiner, Creative Director at Ubisoft Mainz on Anno. Anno 117 Pax Romana is a premier builder game within the strategy genre, releasing on PC and consoles in 2025. When you start the campaign in Anno 117 Pax Romana, you play as a sibling, Marcus, thrown into the limelight as a Roman provincial governor under the pressure of your family. To prove yourself, you travel to new lands where you will learn to lead and make hard choices. Latium is a province close to the hungry heart of Empire. The people are filled with excitement and hope as you embark on your mission to restore this gem of a province, still recovering from a natural disaster that struck decades ago. But eventually, things go wrong and you are sent in exile to Albion, and you have to prove your mettle in a mysterious place where no civilized Roman wants to be. So, what will you do? How will you maintain stability in this alien province? Will you push the locals toward the civilized Roman way of life, or will you embrace and protect their traditions? You are in the eye of this storm, and as you progress through your journey, you will uncover many new opportunities and challenges, tied closely to the choices you make as a governor in the provinces of the Empire. We will be showing more of the game in April, so stay tuned. But first, a little peek at one of our exciting new features, Modular Ships. In Anno 117 Pax Romana, you will be able to build and customize your ships depending on your mission. The wind direction will play a role in the game, so let's take advantage of this by adding another sail. This will make our ship more efficient. Or become independent from the forces of nature by installing oars. While human power will make your ship more versatile, it also means you have more mouths to feed and lose additional cargo space. However, Anno is not all sunshines and happiness. As a governor, you will face various challenges, and sometimes a bit of force is necessary to achieve your goals. To add some more punch to your ship, consider installing archer towers. Adding hull reinforcements will boost the armor of your ship, allowing you to take on even more challenging tasks. And for the final module today, let's add a big bang to our ship. Catapults are long-range weapons, powerful enough to deliver deadly blows to enemy ships, as well as structures on islands like towers and walls. So, lead and build your empire through economic growth, diplomacy or military prowess, and build your fleet to reflect the type of governor you aspire to be. We hope you like this little peek, so stay tuned as Anno 117 Pax Romana will release later this year on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. Wishlist now to stay up to date. Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack right there. There's so much cool information just in this little 3-minute video for us to take a look at. Now, first thing I'd love to see right here is we do get a view of the world map. Now, we've seen the world map before, but it's just really nice to kind of see that, see how it's laid out. Obviously, this is not the real world as we know it. This is the Anno version of the Roman Empire in Europe and stuff, but you can still make out the basics. You know, you still have Italy right here, the Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, probably this is maybe supposed to be like Corsica, Sardinia, maybe that is. You've got the Greeks, you know, the Greek areas right here in the in Greece, and I think it was referred to as the Hellas areas, or the Hellenes maybe? I forgot how it's called. But anyways, you got that, you got Asia Minor, obviously like Europe and the Gallic regions, and you can see just the tip over here of Albion, Britannia. So yeah, really cool looking on the map. Obviously, right here in the middle, this big gold thing, this is where our main city is located. Now, they didn't say the name of the city in the campaign or anything, but you know, this is where we are located at in Latium. And then you can see all the little ships and stuff sailing around. It's really interesting that there's ships actually sailing over these directions where we know we're not building in the game yet. So I'm kind of interested to see why these ships are over here in this region. Kind of interesting little thing right there. This gives us a good scope of what the world is going to look like and possibly future expansion stuff. I could see some stuff going on over in the Iberian Peninsula. Obviously, you're going to have some Greece and have some Greek areas going on over here probably. I could see that as a DLC. The Gallic regions. Now, what I don't see on the map, which of course that's not a big deal because they could expand the world map, is Egypt. There's been a lot of talk amongst the community wanting an Egypt-focused DLC, but we don't see that on the world map at the moment. Doesn't mean it can't be added, but it's a possibility later. You can also have some DLCs up in Asia Minor. Asia Minor was a very wealthy province for the Roman Empire, so I could see some stuff going on up here. So yeah, lots of ideas where you could have DLC regions and stuff come into play later on. We also got a just a little bit of a hint of the campaign storyline and how it's going to go. We're going to be playing as a Roman governor named Marcus that is being sent to found or refound a city that was devastated by some sort of natural disaster, but something does go awry, and eventually we are exiled off to the lands of Albion. And we got some really nice in-game footage right here of the islands, the day-night cycle and everything. So really, really nice visuals and stuff. I'm really, really loving how this all looks. I mean, this right here, Albion, you can see that marshland that we know is going to be in Albion. It's just beautiful. Oh, that right there. Oh, chef kiss. So pretty. I love the volumetric clouds. So yeah, lots of really cool stuff. We see, I see an Imperial Eagle standard right there. Got some Romans up in there along with the Celts. And he, of course, did cover the fact that we can choose in Albion how to advance our population. We can either stick with the Celtic traditions and stay with being Celtic, or we can Romanize that area or that island and everything and have a Roman-focused island. Now, we were told in a dev blog before that I have covered already that stuff is island specific in Albion. You can have an island that is Romanized. You can have an island that is Celtic traditions. So really, really cool way of handling that region. Now, obviously, the next really cool thing was the teaser about ships, and that's the thing I am most excited for in this video. Modular ships. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a first technically for Anno. The old Anno games, like Anno 1602 and Anno 1503, you had specific types of ships. You had trade ships and warships, but the warships and stuff needed cannons applied to them. They were more hands-on, and this is sort of a callback to that sort of thing with the modular ship system. We have a trireme right here. This is just a standard Roman trireme, and we can modify based on our needs. So our trireme can be a merchant ship with lots of cargo space, or we can sacrifice cargo space in order to have things like oars so we move even faster. We can add on things like sails, additional sails onto the front, or we could replace those sails with catapults. And we can do other things with the triremes as well, such as adding, the additional sails on the front. We can add in this particular type of ship right here. I believe is actually called well, it's still a trireme, but there was a term, and it's not a hexareme. I forgot the term for it actually off the top of my head right now. But there is a term specifically for the Roman ships that had archer towers on them, and they would build towers on the front and back of the ship for archers to stand on and everything, and have a mobile platform for shooting, projectiles and everything at other enemy ships. So it's a really, really fun way of giving us customization over our fleets and everything. Maybe you want to have a trireme that is your merchant ship, but it's going through some, contested areas of the map, so maybe you add in some archer towers on it to give it a little extra staying power to where it can protect itself on those trade routes without having to have ships that are actually going and, you know, patrolling or following the ship and escorting and things like that. So there's lots of customization available. So it looks like we're going to have only a few base type ships, and then from there we can customize them to whatever we want them to be. Now, one thing that he did not mention in the video that I would like to see, and I don't know if it's possible, is the Romans were really, really famous for how they handled naval battles. Up until the First Punic War, most naval battles were conducted by just ramming. Ships just rammed each other. You can see actually on the front of this trireme right here, they have that metal, well, it's an iron prow on it right there. And they would use that prow, and ships would just literally just ram into each other and sink each other like that. That's how naval warfare worked. The Romans were not the best naval seamen people. You know, they weren't the best on the open ocean when it came to stuff like this. Because they just had basic triremes and biremes, whereas the Carthaginians had things like quinqueremes, which were massive, like 5 rows of oars and everything. They were huge ships. Now, the Romans eventually did develop quinqueremes, but early on, they still just had triremes. So what the Romans did was they actually developed a thing called a corvus, which was a large plank that stuck out from the front of the ship, and it was on a rotating gear basically, and they could rotate that thing basically 360 degrees, and they would pull up next to a ship, and then they would take that corvus, and it had a I've actually seen a picture of it. I'm going to throw a picture of it up on the screen right here for you guys to see, but it actually was a giant plank, and the end of it was a raven's beak. It looked like a bird's beak, and it would slam down into the other ship, bust through the wooden planks on the deck of the other ship, and it would create a platform for the Roman legionaries, or, you know, during the First Punic War, they weren't legionaries at the time. They were Astati and Principes and Triarii, but they would unload from the ship, and the Romans basically turned naval warfare into a land battle. Now, I would love to see that. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if they have plans for it later, but that would be really, really cool. Even at the time that this game is set in, 117, that was still a standard Roman military practice for naval warfare, was to board other ships. Either using the corvus, they could use giant grappling hooks that were shot from catapults to drag ships to them. The Romans became masters of naval warfare by making naval warfare a land-based battle on the ship itself. I would love to see that option as well. But the options that we're getting are really, really cool. I like the idea of being able to have modular ships and to customize each one based on your current needs. Now, I don't know if you can modify a ship after it's been built. The way I'm understanding this is that you customize them when you build them. Like when you go to build a ship, you can pick and choose and add on different stuff to that ship and then build it. Don't know if you can retrofit a ship after the fact. Maybe you can. It'd be kind of interesting to see how that actually is going to work. But being able to have these modular ships is really, really fun. Gives so much customization for the player to be able to go in and choose how they want to set up their fleets and everything else. And I think this is a terrific new feature for Anno 117, and I'm really glad that they showed us this just to give us a little bit more of a teaser. And the other thing you may have missed in the video, because he said it real quick, is that we are getting some actual gameplay footage in April. So we got to wait just a little bit longer, but then we're going to finally be able to see some actual gameplay footage of Anno 117, and I cannot wait for that. So what do you guys think? What do you think about this new modular ship system? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What kind of questions do you have and everything about how it might work? Let's put those questions together, and maybe we can get some answers from the developers on those. Let me know those thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I can't wait to see some more Anno 117 in the near future. And be sure to like, subscribe to the channel for all your Anno 117 news right here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.